Today is Tuesday, February 20th, 2018. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Joanne.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our JABBIC Part 1 for Survivor Ghost Island.
JABBIC, judge a book by its cover. That's how we start the season, especially when we got new castaways.
All in good fun.
Yep. Well, it's really the focus, the main purpose of doing this, of judging books by their cover,
is to get to know the cast.
Exactly. So that we start being able to associate
so we can recognize who they are.
Names with faces and all that. Yep, absolutely. And so here's our format in the preseason, and we got just a little bit of preseason left.
That's true.
Yeah, it is that we're going to go through and we'll cover the bios, our first impressions, maybe some second impressions, third impressions. You've looked at a lot of content, hadn't you? And then we'll turn it over to you, and that's coming up on Saturday. That'll be to the JABBIC Part 2. So we can get some of your impressions about this cast, what you're thinking about season 36, the theme. We'll be going through all that on our part, and then we'll turn it over to you for the next step. And that'll all get us ready for the premiere, which is just a little over a week away.
Yeah, I just wanted to, I pulled out a little bit of information from their bios for people who don't have the time or don't want to go read the bios.
Mm-hmm.
Just little things that stuck out.
Sounds good.
And so that'll make it a little bit longer, but I did that so you don't have to if you don't want to.
Right.
And shout out to Madsumo.
Madsumo.
On
the grill.
On the grill.
Which is our JABBIC music. That's right. We're going to grill up some new castaways here.
That got me going.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, let's kick it off. Who's up first? Which tribe are we going to start with?
Navidi tribe, the Purple tribe. First up, Angela. She's the Army veteran. She was a captain for 21 years. That's impressive. Well, she wasn't a captain probably, but she served for 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
She's 42 years old. I think she's the oldest one in the show, right?
Yep.
This season.
Shouldn't look it, though. This cast is young.
No, she doesn't.
This cast skews young, and she looked young, too. I was shocked when I found out she was 42, just from the picture.
Yeah. Her hobbies are running, biking, and snowboarding. Pet peeves are laziness, and when someone expects someone else to pull their weight. Things are rights and not privileges. I'm spontaneous, courageous, and determined. She thinks she's most like Michaela. She was fit, outspoken, attractive, and witty. She also spoke her mind and was extremely good at challenges. So
seems like she's talking about version 1 of Michaela, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important because we're going to contrast that with someone else.
Okay. All right. She does say that she doesn't want to be the leader and that she wants to try to keep the expression off her face. I think that's why she related so much to Michaela, is that she has trouble with that. Yeah.
Which is a strange association to make. I guess it's very honest of her, but okay. Mm-hmm. It's not going to win you any points, and it's not going to help you in Survivor at all. It's actually going to work to your detriment. Strange choice, Angela.
Well, she said that she can come off as abrasive and aggressive, so
no.
I think she'll be a little too intense for this young group. Or they could go the other way and decide, hey, let's throw her up as the leader. We'll just go along as we like, and then we'll get rid of her. So they could go the other way, but I'm saying no merge and first out on her tribe. Bam.
So, yeah, with Angela, I got this you got to work hard to earn it attitude kind of vibe off her. That was my first impression. And pretty much the majority of her life experience is in the Army. I didn't get a sense that she was a fan of the show at all. Not that you can't be in the military and be a fan. We obviously know that. We got super fans that participate in our show, but I got no sense that she was a fan.
Yeah, I didn't think she was a fan.
Her picking up on the Michaela thing, okay, so she saw a recent season that had Michaela in it, but she picked the wrong Michaela. She picked the version 1 Michaela, who expresses herself too much.
Well, but I think that's the Michaela she relates to that's like her.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
Yeah, which, again, just seems like evidence of
I'm like
she doesn't
that
quite
Michaela.
get... yeah, sure, points for you for your honesty, I guess, but maybe...
Maybe the last
pick
points
some
anyone
different
gives you for
Survivor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pick a different Survivor alumni
Well,
for
I think she was just
your-
answering
your
honestly.
model. Yeah, sure. That, and of course we know that works great for you in the game too.
Well, she wasn't. She was.
I think she's
being
going to
interviewed.
expect people to follow her, right? She spent all those years as an officer. She's going to expect those commands to be followed.
Well, how
And
could she not?
She described herself as a good active listener, but I think that's more... Yeah, when you're in a position of command
see.
and you think you're an active listener, the chance is good that you're not, that you've got the power in that dynamic. So
Yeah, though she has kids.
here's the big thing for me with Angela. She's recently out of the Army. She's discharged. She just got divorced, and her kids are out of school. I don't know if that means they're like out of the house, but Prope said when he was answering the question of who are the people he's most concerned about, Angela was on the list.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
And so she's got 3 big life changes going on, and she goes into one of the most stressful, unsupportive environments you could possibly imagine.
That's usually never a good thing.
Yeah. How and they love it. Absolutely, they eat this stuff up. Yep, you got someone who's just rolling in the drama, and they're going to bring the drama with them. So I'm with you. I could not see her making the merge. It seems like...
Maybe, for people that need to work on things, even going in the game, and even if you're out on day 3, you got plenty of time to deal with all your stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying that she's a mom on vacation.
No, I don't think she is.
And Probe said this about the cast in general. We'll talk more about some of the overarching things, but he said a lot of these folks were sort of in search of themselves. They didn't have a good sense of who they were or who they wanted to be. And she certainly seems to fit the bill with all those life changes.
She definitely said in the ET Canada interview that Survivor was not the hardest thing she'd ever done. Because they said, "Is this the hardest thing?" She was like, no.
She has no clue how hard Survivor is or where she's going to go.
Well, she said
on that journey.
parenting, so
Yeah.
I don't think any parent could disagree with that.
Yeah.
But I think she's probably, with her military background and the things that she's done in service, that she's not going to be at all intimidated by the game itself. But I don't know about the social side.
Yeah. Like we said, no merge. Okay, so that's our background on Angela. What do you have on Chelsea?
Chelsea, she's an EMT, 24, from L.A. Her entire family are fans of the show, which I always like. She likes hiking and camping. Her pet peeves are people with negative energy or pessimistic. She said she's outgoing, dynamic, and driven, and she thinks she's most like Parvati.
Of course she does.
It's like, well, she said she can use her charms. She seems very charming to build relationships, and she's got a big competitive spirit. So she thinks she can win because of that she's very agile and athletic, and she's got a background in dance and gymnastics, so she'll have the balance.
She's a pro cheerleader. She's an EMT, but she's a cheerleader too.
Well, she thinks she's personable and easy to get along with. So.
She didn't say she was a people person. Someone else said that, but she came awfully close.
And she said that she can get along with guys and girls.
No doubt.
Not all women can. I liked her, and I think she's being pretty realistic about some of the things she said in the game during the interviews, and I'd like to see her go far. I've definitely got her merging that she could win.
When she was asked what 3 items she would most like to have, she listed a bed, a toothbrush, and food. Okay, well, that's enough said, I guess. She's here for the experience And to me, I thought she was a dud.
I don't think so. Like I said, I thought she could be a winner.
Yep, this is the part where I tell my version,
you
though.
go right ahead.
So I got hers.
I just already disagree.
Yep, I got her no merge, so I'll just leave it at that.
Some things never change, honey. Okay, Desiree, is that how it's pronounced?
I didn't watch the videos. I didn't hear anyone say.
Well, the video I watched, mostly, they didn't say the names.
I would say Desiree, yeah.
Yeah. She's a student from Brooklyn, 21 years old. She loves traveling, debating, and binging on YouTube videos. Her pet peeves are complaining. She said she's unbreakable, driven, and real. She's most like Michaela again.
Yeah, but I think she picked the second Michaela.
She said, we are both
Michaela
strong-willed and determined and willing to do whatever it takes to accomplish our goals. I live in a house of 8 girls, she said, and that she knows how to deal with 7 different versions of crazy and different personalities.
I love that.
All your roommates are going to get you. And she said she's constantly settling issues in the house and running the house meetings. So she doesn't think, she says she's very sociable, funny, and that she's very likable. So she doesn't think she have any problem with these people after living with, and I can't even imagine having that many roommates. So she used to play basketball, so she should be physical in the challenges, and she works out. I put merge for sure, and I didn't get a real good feel of her because I didn't see an interview with E.T. from her. Maybe it just hasn't come out yet. But I didn't get a real good feel about her strategic game. But I think she'll probably make the merge just because she's very physical and she talks about being funny. And we know that entertainment means a lot out there sometimes.
I like for one of her comfort items, she listed a skeleton in her grave, a memento mori, which is remember, we're all going to die. So she's, for someone that's 21 years old that's got a perspective like that.
Good balance check for her.
Yeah, I was immediately impressed with that perspective. And I like that she seemed to zero in on the second version of Michaela, the strong woman making power moves kind of thing. And that was a great contrast to Angela, I thought, between those two. So, yeah, I got a really good feeling about her. I liked.
Okay, so we've got the Michaela 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, I have her as merge also.
Okay, Kellen. She's a career counselor, 31, from Denver. Says she's a huge fan for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, she was the first one that I picked up on actually seemed like a fan out of the bios.
She said she's watched all the seasons, but she only got into it 5 or 6 years ago. And she loves meeting new people and going new places. She does a lot of yoga, meditation, but she's a gambler. She likes gambling. And she said her pet peeves are ignorance and unwillingness to try and walk in other people's shoes. And being interrupted by a man. I
would love to have that information. I would absolutely do it.
Be like, really?
Yeah, you could totally use that against her.
She didn't say just being interrupted. She said being interrupted by a man.
Yeah. Because you could do it a few times and then apologize and then not do it again, and she would think she had had an effect on you, and you would totally have won her over, I think, at that point.
You're just already trying to figure out a way to manipulate that. That's how your mind works.
Yeah, sure.
But I thought that was kind of telling that she specifically said it that way.
Yep.
She does say she's empathetic and effervescent and excitable, and she's a game player that will do anything to win. She's willing to be a snake, and she thinks she's very strategic as well as intuitive. So, but she did say she's a slightly neurotic and quirky like Aubrey. So, but she does think she has an ability to make people comfortable around her, saying that she never gives up. She's a very resilient person and strong mentally and physically. So I liked her. And I thought right off that she and Dominic, which we haven't talked about yet, might be a good alliance. So I definitely have her making the merge.
I was just happy that it seemed like we had gotten to our first true fan. As we were going through this list, you said that Chelsea's family was a fan. So,
And her whole family, herself included.
yeah. So, yeah, maybe she is. I have a little hard time believing it. I didn't pick up on that at all from her, but totally got it from Kellen, because Kellen actually, said something to that effect in the bio, and that she's there to test herself in the greatest game in the world. I love that perspective when they come in with that, looking at it that way. So I got her for merge, yeah.
So did you take your information strictly off the bios in their CBS video? You didn't watch any of the ET?
I didn't even watch the videos. I just wanted to go this season off the bios and what I got there.
Because a lot of my opinions, I did the bios first. And then went into videos, and then I saw the ET ones. And
yeah, that's what we normally do
over there. But I didn't watch all of either one. But my opinion changed on some people after I saw their interviews.
Sure.
Versus very different, opposite from how I felt about their bios. So just so you know.
Yep.
Okay, next up we have Morgan. She's a marine animal trainer. Works with the killer whales. 29 years old, from Orlando. She's been a fan since season 2. She describes herself as bubbly, stubborn, and determined, and that she's most like Kelly Wentworth. Kelly was strategic, strong, sneaky, and a fighter, and she wasn't afraid to make big moves. And she played her own game and didn't hide behind anyone. So that's who she thinks she is. She's mentally strong and an athlete. So I thought she could do well as also. I liked her and Kellen. I thought, ooh, same tribe. They might be a good match.
Okay.
I'm already trying to pair them up. But
yeah, you're looking for alliances.
Yeah, I think she will do well, and that I think she will definitely make the merge and could possibly go deep if she gets in the right alliance.
You know what? Her occupation really tripped me up, I think. I was really happy that, to hear that she was a fan. And Probst actually said that everyone was a super fan. That was their requirement for the cast this season.
Not all.
That's absolutely not true from what we can see. But yeah, that stuff happens. He's there to sell the show.
There does seem to be a lot more actual
So
fans.
I'm going to get back to Morgan. I was excited to see that she was another fan, but I'm really not sure what to think about training the killer whales, given all the negativity surrounding that topic. That just really threw me off. And that to have someone to be in that position, when the world's moving to not keeping them in captivity because of I don't know all aspects of that story, but it really tripped me up. So
it colored your opinion.
Absolutely, yeah. I do have her making the merge, but I'm sort of stuck on her occupation and what that says about her.
Well, she's been wanting to do it. She decided when she was 4 years old.
Yeah, I read all that,
Yeah.
but then you get into it and you find out maybe they're doping the animals, and then there's all these other bad things associated with it. And do you want to continue to be a part of that? What does that say about you in that scenario when the world's going to not having them in captivity like that?
I think we won't go there for Survivor. We'll just...
well, that's part of her makeup. That's part of what you get in the bio. That's what she does. So it's an interesting angle to have to factor in.
She also mentioned that she wanted to align with the nerdy people. She liked the more quirky, nerdy people to align with. So, okay, anything else about Morgan?
Nope, merge. I got her making the merge. I see her having game and being there.
Too.
But I'd have, if I were in the game with her, we'd have to end up talking about all that.
Okay, Bradley. He's a law student, 26 years old, from LA. He's been a fan since age 9. His hobbies are sailing, skiing, and running, so he's athletic. Pet peeves: stupid people and people who think they know everything. He says he's ambitious, impatient, and astute. I'm passionate, competitive, and neurotic like Spencer. and have the same penchant as him for making people feel irrelevant. So I'll have to be very careful not to do it in the game. He really wants the $1 million to pay off his school loan, buy a sailboat, and sail around the world. So he does like to lead and take the initiative.
So I was happy to see another fan. That's cool. And he compares himself to Spencer's negative traits. Okay, well,
I know.
that indicates a self-awareness, but he's tending towards a self-destructive, which I think is also reflected in his description of being ambitious and impatient. So I have him making the merge, but I don't see him going far in the game.
Well, I thought he would probably do okay in the challenges because he's young and looks fit, even though I don't know that he's athletic. But I put no merge.
Okay. Because of the negative things?
I don't think he can win for sure. But I may be wrong about him because when I saw him in the interview, I questioned that a little more once I saw him interact. And I thought, no, I think he is a fan and he does have some game. So now I'm a little bit torn.
Yeah.
But just from his bio, I'd already written him off for easy out. But I don't know about that now.
Yeah, they'll need him for the physicality of the challenges, but he'll do something, shoot himself in the foot, and then he'll get voted out for it.
Yeah.
Sort of fulfilling his "I'm most like Spencer" description.
Anything else?
I have him merge.
Okay. Next up, Chris. He's a male model from Brooklyn, 27 years old. He says he's a very active person. His pet peeves are, it angers him when people act lazy and try to manipulate everyone around them. But I know I'll have to deal with them. My title of most dramatic in the face of a bunch of liars will be, shall we say, interesting. A quote from him. I thought, okay. He's ambitious, charismatic, and charming. But he says he's an alpha. I just didn't get a good feel at all. So I went ahead and said he would make the merge because he's very physical.
Physicality, yeah.
But I don't know. I might want to get him off before, but I think he'll make it because of that reason. But I don't think he'll make it. If he makes it that far, I don't think he'll go beyond that.
Okay, so I solidly think the male model, Chris, is a recruit. I don't think he's a fan.
He's not a fan.
Don't think he really knew anything about the show until they sent him the videos. I liked his mom as inspiration story. Totally relate to that. That was very touching, so I wasn't really expecting that from him. He's another one that compared himself to Michaela, among others.
I thought he could upset the women, too.
And one thing I saw with him, he admitted that he likes being rewarded significantly for doing very little. I think he was referring to being a model.
Yep, he was. He said that being a model, he was rewarded well for not doing much.
Sounds a little like being lazy, which he was talking about was a pet peeve. But okay, we all have tendencies towards those kinds of hypocritical analyses.
Yeah, and he's willing to flirt and do whatever he needs to.
Got him making the merge, but I don't know that he'll be significant in the context of the game. He'll help them win some challenges, maybe.
Yeah, possibly. I just didn't, He
has a throwaway feel. That was my first impression was, okay,
yeah.
This is a throwaway. This is an early boot.
Too. And I just went, he's not a fan.
No, he's very physical. He's going to be able to add something in the challenges. So.
Well, that's the only reason I have him making the merge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on to Dominic. Construction supervisor, 38 years old, from New York. He's watched from the very first season. He's been doing CrossFit for 8 months to get in shape. He lost 80 pounds over the last 8 years, I think he said. And he's going to try to play under the radar. So, and he likes to play poker too. When I hear people like to,
he actually said he liked to gamble.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Craps, poker, whatever. He likes going to the casino. He had to make some life changes because that was taken over for him when he had his kids.
Okay, his pet peeves. Fake people, small talk at parties, and judgmental people who are convinced they are better than me.
Yep. He seemed like he was cast to be this season's Joe, like they were looking for that archetype again. That was my first impression.
He said he's very calculated, intuitive, and and he wants to play an empathetic game. So,
and you said he was a fan. My sense was that he wasn't a fan from his bio.
No, he said definite fan since the very first season. So,
Okay.
no, he is. But here's the thing. He also wrote in his bio, one of the 3 things that he would want to bring out there with him was antihistamine, so that he could put it in somebody's drink if they were annoying him.
You know
or
where
the
that came
tribe.
from, right? Well, that's a trick that parents use. They'll give their kids Benadryl to knock them out.
I would never do that because he would.
I bet you Dominic has.
afraid of it.
Where do you come up with a
Not be
line
safe
like
or
that?
something, no.
Yeah.
But
Well, they have a children's version of it, so it just makes them groggy, makes them want to go to sleep when they're being nuts. I think some parents use that, or like when they're going on a flight.
okay, he said that grew up with 8 siblings, so he's used to the lack of food, clothes, and showers. So, and that he hopes to stroke other people's egos, and he thinks and even the interviewer said he was very charismatic, like Mariano. So that's who he compared himself to.
Yeah, he referenced. Actually, it was 3, right? Suri, Cochran, and Mariano. So
Yeah, he had more than one.
I guess that was a nice reference, but like I said, I got him making the merge, but I didn't have a sense that he was a fan or that he might have game. That'll be interesting to watch.
No, I think he does, and I'm just curious to see his social game. But I think it's possible. I've got him like in my final 4 right now.
Oh,
That
interesting.
he could go deep, and I don't know. I might even consider him as a winner. I have to see what everybody else thinks, but
We'll talk about it in the second half of this when we get into some of how the season's going to play out. But there's an event that's just like prime for him if that tribe can win. So it could really set him up well in the game. We'll talk about it
okay,
later.
I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
I know you don't know.
Okay, you done with Dominic?
Yeah, I got him making the merge.
Okay. On to Sebastian. He's a fishing guide, 22 years old, from Florida. He's been a fan since season 1. His hobbies are fishing and surfing. He says he's outgoing, adventurous, and free-spirited. I've got him in the Aussie role. He even looks a little bit like Aussie the way
he's
he's
totally
standing.
cast to be Aussie
Yeah.
Joe. He's got the man bun.
But he says he's most like Tyson. That Tyson knew how to play the game through laughter and creativity and good times. And that he related to that. He thinks Tyson was a free spirit as well. So, and he said he was perfect for this game. Everybody he knows thinks he's perfect for this game and that it was made for him. And he spent most of his life out in the elements. You know, my first thought was surfer dude, but I think he's more than that. I think he's way more than that. I do, after listening to the interview, I think he's got some game. But I also don't know if he has a strategic game.
You said
That's
that
what
he had
I'm
been
afraid of.
watching from the first season.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I didn't get that vibe from him at all. As a matter of fact, he said one of the items he would want to have if he could, one of the 3 things he could have with him was a Hawaiian sling, which is often, if not always, available in the game. So that struck me as an odd thing to say and made me think he wasn't a fan and that he was here on the recommendation of others because so many people had said, you would be great for Survivor.
Yeah. Well, that's always a possibility. But, and he did say people have been telling him that forever. And, but he did say he is not good at puzzles. And I thought he wants to be the provider. He wants to fish and provide. And the thing that backs up what you're saying about maybe he wasn't really a long-term fan is that he thinks that if he provides, they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. And I'm thinking, no, that's not true at all.
Historically, that hasn't been the case.
Nope. So
Didn't matter a whit after some of the early seasons.
I put merged because of his physicality and being a provider, because they'll like that certainly for a while. It won't keep him there, but
We'll come back and talk about that in the second
easy
half,
and
too.
likable. So
Maybe.
well, here's the other thing: will he be an easy vote to use? Because if he's busy doing that and he lets somebody else just make decisions for him, then, hey, he's an easy vote for them. Keep him around. He'll vote for whoever I tell him to.
Which is always the risk of being the provider, because it takes a lot of time and energy to be a provider.
Yes, it does.
And that means you're not in the social game.
But those people don't usually win the game.
So he looks like he's cast to be this season's Ozzy Joe, but I couldn't help but note there's some resemblance to Jason Siska from Fans versus Favorites too. So he who also was cast to be that season's
Well, at
Ozzy.
least it's Sarah's
Ozzy counterpart. At least.
It's Sarah's man bun. Guys,
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
Yeah,
he had
maybe
his
that'll
hair
work.
in one of the pictures.
I'm not saying he didn't. I just we
got-
don't know if that appeals to her.
Well,
Yeah.
he's got beautiful long hair, but in one of the photos he had it pulled back in a man bun. So
Yeah, I got him making the merge.
yeah,
All
me
right.
too. Wendell, he's a furniture designer, 33 years old, from Philadelphia, and he said he'd been a fan since season 18, and that he likes basketball. His pet peeves are people who aren't open-minded, despite facts, logic, and new information. People that overuse the word honesty and not being in control of his destiny. Those are his pet peeves. And you're not going to be in control of your destiny out there. But he said he's very witty and intelligent, and he's very competitive. So, and he felt that, he left a very comfortable job in the legal field to pursue his dream of building the furniture. So I have really got to respect that he loves it that much, and going after his passion. So he says he thinks he would play the game like Jeremy Collins because...
Nice reference, yeah.
Yeah. He said he'll always keep his heart in the right place. He said he'll still be a serious competitor and a threat, but that he also said he's very skilled at puzzles and that he gets along well with all kinds of people.
Yeah, he seemed really well-rounded. I got a very positive impression from him. So I got him making the merge.
Well, and he said he seemed like to me had a lot of game knowledge and strategy. So I believe him, and
Yeah, I believed he was a fan too. I didn't think he was just a recruit.
yeah, I really liked him, and I definitely put merge. But I'm even looking at him maybe Final Four too because I like him.
All right, so that's the Naviti tribe. Good deal.
All right,
Moving on.
Malola tribe, the Orange tribe. Malolo.
Yeah.
Is that how it's pronounced?
Usually it's those, it's the two letters. The
What did I say?
Malola.
Oh, well, I didn't mean to say that. That was just lackadaisical, I guess. Okay, Jenna, account executive, 23 years old, from Venice Beach, California, says she's creative, open-minded, and adventurous. She's been able to manifest anything and everything she's ever wanted in her life, and it's pretty cool. She said, not to brag, but I say I want something, and I always get it. So hopefully by saying that, I'll survive. I thought, well, that's very confident. So
Yeah, I'm not sure there's not a rich dad in that picture that's being left out, but okay.
But then she's this other side of her. She talks about, I need to face my fears, and but she said people tell her things. She thinks everybody's going to tell her all the secrets, and somehow she can use that, and that's a great asset if she can really pull that off. So, but she's open to a little romance.
Says she wants to write love letters to a hot castaway.
Yeah, she practiced fire, but didn't say she learned to make it. And she said she may cry a lot. She's finding she's emotional out there already, and that she talks really fast. And she says she doesn't have a filter, and especially when she's hungry. So I have her no merge.
I also have her as no merge.
Okay.
There's a definite recruit vibe coming off her. I won't be surprised to find out if she knows someone in casting there in L.A.
She didn't say she was a fan.
And there's just too much unicorns, burping sunshine and farting rainbows coming from her bio.
Okay.
So no merge. I get a really off vibe from her. and her picture. It's just like, wow. If she said that she was a villain, I would have believed it.
Okay. Up next, Laurel. She's a financial consultant, 29 years old, from Minnesota. She's a super fan. Pet peeves: incompetence, indecisiveness, and open mouth chewers.
A fellow misophonia sufferer. I identify with her.
Yes, you do. I'm driven, focused, and calculated. I'm a triple threat to win this game because I'm a former college athlete, an Ivy League graduate, and I know the game better than anyone else out there. I'm a superfan who knows better than to let the game pass me by, and I will always fight for every single inch. She thinks she's most like Todd. She'll be a smart player, shrewd, and she'll pull the strings. She can be a snake, but not let other people know. And she thinks she can run circles around anyone in the final tribal speech. So she definitely has plenty of confidence.
Yeah.
But that could help her or hurt her. She also thinks she's a little like Sophie.
Mm-hmm. I like the Sober Todd Sophie references. That was cool. Mm-hmm. Actually, I really like her. So
I did too.
I'm excited to watch her play.
I mean, just to read the bio, I was kind of like, I don't know. But then,
I got a real positive vibe off her bio.
But I like her. It comes across sounding arrogant. But
I didn't get it that way.
I don't think it is arrogant. I felt like it was just more confident. Mm-hmm. That's just what she believes, and she's not really trying to sound arrogant.
Yep.
That's just, she's telling it like it is.
Really like her. Got her merging.
Yep. I really think she's got a lot. We'll just see how her social skills are. But I definitely had her making the merge. Next up, we have Libby, social media strategist. She's 24 from Houston, Texas.
That's a great occupation title. It can mean
social media strategist.
I have a blog.
What the heck is that?
Well, for a company, when you're in charge of social media, it means that you're running the Twitter, you're running the Facebook page, those kind of things. That's what it tends to mean. I
actually like
kind
her,
of stuff.
She said she's adventurous, strong, and outgoing. Her hobbies are working out, traveling, cooking. She's run a marathon, so we know she's got to be tough. She really relates to Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Wow, lost me completely there.
Yeah, she said Elizabeth has been her hero and mentor.
And she's not talking about just the Survivor Australia version. She's talking about all the later version, and it's like, okay.
Well, she saw Elizabeth when she was 9 years old on Survivor.
Yeah.
And that's been her mentor ever since, she said. She says she can be strong in challenges. She loves the outdoors. She has a strong social game. And she said, I'm strong, smart, and pretty, and I know how to use it. I'm a Southern girl. She wasn't a fan.
Yeah.
And she has a strong faith, but that she could play devious in the game, that she's resolved herself for that. So I thought she's very cute, and I think she'll do well unless she flirts too much and gets the other girls against her. But I definitely think she'll make the merge, and that she could go deep in the game.
Yeah, I got her no merge. I didn't really care for her at all. I think a lot of that's superficial. I'm not sure what's under the cover.
I think she can use it, though. She's just, because she's sweet and she's cute and she's physically fit, and so.
Wait till she gets tired. I mean, I know we know that she's got endurance. She finished a marathon, and it's a big deal. It's not quite as intense as one of her tribe mates, though. It's actually not even on the same scale as one of her tribe mates. But
the one we haven't done that did the Ironman. Okay, I know where you're going with that.
Yep.
Okay, up next, we both have her making them. Oh no, you don't have her making.
No.
I do. We differ.
I think Libby's a throwaway.
Okay, up next, Stephanie Gonzalez.
And they refer to her as Gonzalez because they're two Stephanies.
Yep.
I noticed in the videos, Paul was asking about if they had said anything about how we're going to handle these. So we may just refer to her as Gonzalez as we go through.
Yep. She's in graphic sales, 26 years old. She was originally from Puerto Rico, living in Ocala, Florida. Her hobbies are paintball, working out, running, freediving, snorkeling, being in nature, and anything involving the ocean. She's a bit of a tomboy, she says. And her pet peeves or complainers are people who feel entitled to everything without working for it. And she doesn't like annoying laughs and arrogant men, racism, bullies, and pretty boys. That could be, there's a few pretty boys in here that might be an issue.
That's probably because she's fallen for pretty boys before
Yeah.
and had issues there.
Yeah, she says she's very outspoken, strong-willed, and strategic.
I liked her grit and determination. I don't get the sense she's a fan at all. I think she's got a shot at making the merge, although admittedly I could have her and Libby backwards there. But
yeah, she's got a bracelet that says 1 million win or something. That
she's putting a lot of pressure on herself there. But yeah.
Yep.
You got her making the merge?
I do.
Okay.
I thought those pretty boys could annoy her, but I think she'll still let them in. I was a little bit afraid she could come off a little bit too aggressive, but I really wanted to buy what she's selling. Mm-hmm. But I do have her making the merge, but I'm not sure if she will. I mean, I'm kind of a little bit on the fence about her because I don't know how she's going to come off to people. So, but I went ahead and put merge.
Okay.
But if I was going to change something, I might change hers. But I liked her, and I think she's a strong woman, so I'd like to see her. Just depends on if those strong women join up again, or that doesn't usually happen. But there's some really strong women in here. Okay, then we have Stephanie Johnson. She's a yoga instructor, 34 years old. Grew up in Boise and moved to Chicago. She's the oldest woman on her tribe. Her hobbies are triathlon, running, yoga, meditation, climbing mountains, and trekking, travel, and riding. She's quite diverse.
And a single mom, right?
Yep. She says she's wild, determined, and passionate. She completed the Ironman. She's traveled 24 countries in her 34 years. And she's done backpacking and trekking solo, even. That's a passion of hers. And she's been a fan since the first season of Survivor. And she's applied many times for the past 10 years.
Yeah, definite super fan here.
And that she's the one that had a sticker on her mirror that said outwit, outlast, outplay Survivor. And for the last 10 years, she looked at it every morning, she said.
I like that.
And she's never stopped believing that she'd get on one day. She just believed it.
Good for her.
And she says she's really good to adapting to circumstances and to people even. And that it's easy for her to go from plan A to plan C. Nothing shakes her up. And I thought, well, that could help her in the game. And she's got endurance, but she's another one. I wanted to buy what she's selling too, but I just don't. I could see it happen that she could go deep, and I'm hoping some of the strong women will come on together, but I have her no merge.
Wow.
And actually first, it's between her and Jenna first off the tribe.
Okay. I totally see the Jenna part. I don't see that for Stephanie, though.
Because she talks a lot. She talks really fast and hard. And
my first impression was she just looks like a floofadoof. I don't even know what that means.
A floofadoof?
Yeah, she just looks like...
What is a floofadoof?
Yeah. That's why I said I don't even sure what that means, but that's like what popped into my head looking at her. And then I'm reading more. I'm like, oh, finished an Ironman. Okay. So where the other lady was ecstatic that she had finished a marathon, this one finished a marathon after swimming 2.4 miles and riding 112. So that's why I said Libby's accomplishment's not quite on par with Stephanie's in that respect. So she can manage pain. She's got just exceptional endurance.
Well, but she's also extremely excited about the outfit she's wearing, and that it's going to be,
that's a girl thing,
different
right?
and better than anything anyone's ever worn. I think it's her own line of clothing. So part of me thinks she's there pushing
doing that.
Her products.
Her activewear yoga
maybe
pants.
That influenced me, though I liked her.
Yeah.
But I thought, oh, I'm afraid she's going to annoy people because she just nonstop talk.
Well, so mine's complete opposite of yours. I got Merge, and she was the first one that I started thinking she might could win the game.
Well, I could see that if she got in a good alliance.
Mm-hmm.
And got in with the people that, they trusted and she could work. But I could see that too. But I just thought, oh, I think that might be annoying. And I don't know if she's really there just to promote her, if she really wants to win. Or
Interesting. All right.
Okay. Brendan, physical education teacher. He's 41 years old from Virginia. His pet peeves are passive aggression, crybabies, and waiting.
Wow. This is what you want to hear from the
man.
PE teacher. He hates crybabies. It's like, now, there's going to be some kids that are going to cry.
Well, but you're on Survivor. You're going to be waiting. Hurry up and wait. And he said...
I meant, it's just those two things. If you're a PE teacher and you hate crybabies, it's just like, you're going to break kids in PE.
I don't think he does that. I don't think he was thinking that, but...
Oh, I don't think he was thinking it. He wouldn't have said it if he was. It's just the contrast was funny.
He says he's deliberate, optimistic, and determined. He's not afraid to take risks or make big changes. He thinks he's most like Jeremy, too, and Tom Westman, because he understands people, and he knows how to unite them behind a common goal. Part of being a coach, I guess, or a PE teacher.
Yeah, they've got to do what you said. You're the PE teacher. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Well, he's athletic, and he says he really knows how to make people comfortable and secure. And he's waited 16 years to play, so he is a fan.
Oh, he is? I didn't get that from his bio at all.
No, he's waited 16 years to play.
Uh-huh.
And I liked him. I'm thinking about him for winter.
We're on the opposite ends of the spectrum again. My impression of him, based on his bio, is that he's hard-headed. He's just a hard-headed, no-compromise kind of guy, and he's going to be no merge. They're going to end up getting rid of him, or he'll get shuffled, and they'll get rid of him.
He could be, and being the oldest could be against him.
He's going to play, but he's super fit. You can see that.
He's very fit, and he doesn't look even 41.
Which is good for a PE teacher, yeah.
And he had a different career. But, for a long time.
I think two different ones, right?
He had his own business and sold it.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wanted to become a teacher.
Yeah.
I admire that.
Yes. Noble.
Anyway, I liked him a lot.
No merge. No merge for Brendan.
Merge Final Four, possible winner.
Nope.
Okay, then let's move on to Donathan.
Oh, jeez.
He's a caretaker, 26 years old, from Kentucky. Photography is his hobby. He says he's a super fan. He studied the game. His pet peeves are people who think they know it all, people who are disrespectful toward others for no reason,
and
people who judge the book by its cover.
Oh, we're Donathan's pet peeve.
And because people have treated him that way his whole life. People that say literally without it being literal. People who aren't straightforward when they need to be, and finally getting his name wrong. It's Donathan, not Jonathan, not Donovan. So he's very adamant about that.
I appreciate his struggle with his name. I can relate to that part.
Yep. And he's openly gay and very proud of his dancing, and he's a caregiver. And Jeff says he cares for his family, and he's had a difficult life, he says. He sees himself playing like Suri, and he's there to better his family's lives as well as himself.
No pressure, Donathan.
Exactly. Well, my first thought was with all that list of pet peeves, that's why I put the whole list, is I thought,
yep,
you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to annoy you. And
never been out of his home state of Kentucky.
He has a really strong Southern accent. And coming from us, that's probably kind of funny. But he's really got the strong accent. And but I think he'd be fun to be around. And when I saw him interviewed, I completely changed from what I'd read in the bio. I really like him.
Okay.
And but he said his face shows what he's thinking. He can't help it.
Yep.
And that he knows he's going to have to watch that or it'll get him taken out early. But I put Merge for him, and I think he'll do okay in the challenges. But I don't know how physical he is, so I'll have to find that out. But I liked him, and I thought he had game.
Judging Donathan by his cover, I think he's too fragile. I think he lacks life experience. He's going to get overwhelmed, and unless someone's just carrying him along to use him as a vote, I don't see him making the Merge.
Well,
he's just gonna come apart at some point, and it'll be easier just to get rid of him.
When Jeff was talking about him, they had said they weren't even sure he'd ever been out of his hometown. He's certainly never left the state or.
Well, he's definitely been out of his hometown. He went to like state championship or something with that dancing troupe from his high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she said state, and Jeff said, well, I don't know if he's even been out of his hometown, but obviously he has that. But he hasn't traveled, let's put it that way, and he is very
lacking some life experience, although growing up gay in Kentucky in a very small town, I'm sure was super challenging for him.
Oh, yeah, but I liked him, so we'll see.
I think he's got too much pressure, and he puts a lot of that on himself, too.
I think he's used to handling pressure. He's had to with his life. So, we'll see.
You say Merge, I say no Merge.
Okay. Up next, Jacob, music teacher, 22 years old, Brooklyn, New York. His hobbies are songwriting and performing. His pet peeves are people who complain constantly and people who don't have a sense of humor. He's very self-deprecating, charming, and affable. He relates to Stephen Fishbach, who sees a lot of David Wright in himself as well. He says he's funny, nerdy, neurotic Jewish guy trying to make it in the entertainment business. And but he says he's logical and smart, and he's been dreaming of this for over a decade.
All right, what do you got?
Just that he says he's a super fan, and I think he is, and that
Merge, no Merge.
If he's got the social skills, then I say Merge.
He definitely got a Seth Rogen vibe off of him for sure. I like the whole songwriter performer angle. He talks about the benefits of beard oil, but his beard game, at least in the picture, is a little weak.
Use it on his hair too, but he said.
And I just wanted to give him a tip. That scented beard oil that he was so proud of, not always a good thing.
No.
Yeah, I had some of that.
No.
Did not go over well.
Just about asphyxiated his wife.
So he said he's a fan
asthma, not a good thing.
He says he's a fan of seeking a vengeful win. That was an interesting way to put it. He sees that as balancing out the scales of life for him.
Well, he dropped 30 pounds before he went out there.
If he can find a way to entertain his tribe, which it sounds like he's got skills for, I think he'll make it. I think he'll make the Merge. So I'm very optimistic for Jacob.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to make the Merge. And I don't know if it's just because I like him and I want him to, but I think he could make some good alliances. I think he's going to be funny and easy to talk to, and that a lot of the people will be drawn to him, especially that they'll see him as a lesser threat than some of those, openly hunky guys that are. And he's cute too, so.
Or the intense type A's. He's got 3 other intense type A males there with him, so it'll be interesting to see how he'll be able to offer a great contrast there, I think, if he can find his niche.
I agree.
Definitely looking forward to seeing Jacob play. Who's up next?
James, business analyst, 24 years old, lived in California, but now is in New York. He said, I am team-oriented, athletic, outgoing, and tenacious. I will focus on being a helpful, likable asset to those around me and strategically pave my path to the very end. I'm most like Yul Kwan.
He seems like he was just trying to check the Yul Kwan boxes as he listed his attributes there.
Well, he said we've got very similar backgrounds. It's uncanny. And he's also Korean American and consultant management consultant. And he plans to follow in Yul's example, being cool, calm, and collected.
I think he's a recruit. I don't think he's a fan.
I think he's a nice guy. I think he probably studied the game. I think he even said he studied the game. But I don't think he was a fan. He knew of it.
They went looking for a specific type, and they found James.
He applied for The Amazing Race. That's how they...
Gotcha.
And they came back and said, hey, you want to play Survivor? And he said, yes, thank you.
Sure.
So, but I think he's going to get along with people and the other guys, and he's kind of cute for the ladies too. And so I definitely put merge for him.
I got him making the merge. I think he's going to be a physical asset. I don't know how well he'll be able to integrate those other attributes he was talking about into the game. We'll see.
If he doesn't stay too much in his head, but he's very analytical.
He sounds like he's really intense, and
I think
he's been driven. Someone's been driving him. He's driven, and he's been all about being intense and successful and checking these boxes and, all those things for where he is right now. So kudos to him for his success. I don't know if it'll translate to anything in Survivor.
Still liked him. I was amazed that I kept liking these people, because I pretty much liked all the guys on this tribe. Even Michael, who's a real estate agent, 18 years old, lived in Tennessee, now in California. His hobbies are health, fitness, outdoor activities, and traveling. He says he's energetic, slick. I'm not sure what he means by that. Slick, and resilient. He's like Malcolm, he said, and he's inwardly strategic and aggressive, but outwardly friendly and easygoing. So he wants to be the youngest sole survivor. He's a people person.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
And relates to people of all ages.
Said it. There you go.
I was shocked. I completely discounted him because he's 18. He does not. If he had told me he was 23, I would 100% believe he's 23.
Okay.
And that's what he's going to say. He knows it would be against him to say he's 18, and he plans to tell them he's 23. And I would believe it. He acts and looks. I can't look at him and see 18. And I think he's way more mature than most 18-year-olds. Look at Will and him. It's like there's just no comparison. He just seems way older for whatever reason. But he just does. And I liked him. That surprised me. I didn't think I would like him. And he's been watching Survivor since he was 8 years old.
Okay.
But he seems to have a lot going for him. But typically, youth tends to trip people up at some point.
He just doesn't have a lot of life reference to help him navigate what's going on.
And he acknowledges and admits that.
Yeah.
But I think he has more than most 18-year-olds.
There's no making up for it, is the catch.
Yeah. But I do know some people are more mature.
Pet peeve he listed, rain and cold. He might be just one good storm away from a quit. It would be an engineered quit because his need to be a bro is probably going to be overpowering there. So it won't be an outright quit.
He's awfully cute, too.
There just wasn't a lot other than he was an Eagle Scout. There wasn't a lot of content there, which is exactly, he didn't have a lot of life reference. So there just wasn't much content there. I got no merge for him.
Definitely merge. So we'll see. We really are disagreeing more this time than usual.
Especially about the guys on the Malolo tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, because I told you before you even got there.
I got three no merges there. Guys. Yes. Yeah.
Surprised me, but I like them all.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. We came at it from different perspectives.
And you were like, "What were you seeing?" Okay. Well, I'm listing as of right now people I like that could be in the final four are Brendan, Dominic, Chelsea, and Wendell. But I also think...
Oh, we have one in common.
Oh, okay. Which is Wendell.
Yeah.
I also think Kellen, Morgan, and Libby may have some game and could go deep.
Okay, so my final four, I picked Kellen, Wendell, Laurel, and Stephanie J.
Oh, yeah, Laurel. Laurel's not a bad pick either. Yep. So, but...
USB?
I like
Who
this
did you land on?
I haven't.
Okay.
Like I said, any of those four are subject to go there.
Okay, so I narrowed my USB down to Laurel or Stephanie, and I think I settled on
Which
Stephanie.
Stephanie?
Well, we said we're going to call the other one Gonzalez, right?
yeah,
and then
well,
call
Stephanie
Yoga
J
Pants
might be.
Stephanie. Yeah. Okay, you can say Stephanie J if that works.
Wow, I didn't see that, but okay. All right, and who did you have out first for Navidi, if Navidi lost?
So I'll explain this in the second half, but I got Chelsea.
Chelsea?
Mm-hmm. The EMT cheerleader.
I put Angela.
Yep, and I know exactly why, and then I'll when we get into some of the twists in the game mechanics, because there might be spoilers there that people don't want to hear, I'll explain how I ended up with Chelsea.
Okay, so first out for the Malolo tribe, I put Stephanie Johnson, your USB.
Mm-hmm.
And but if the twist affects it at all, I thought, or it could be Jenna. I'm still kind of torn whether I'm going to go with Stephanie or Jenna.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how I'm going to decide that, but Jenna confuses me because she's on one side seems strong and then flips kind of. So I just don't quite know how she's going to play and how being out there is going to affect her emotionally.
Right.
So
she was the one that they were talking about how she wanted to actively change how her face was to others, right? She realized she was having a problem with how she was coming across to other people.
Oh, I know somebody did, but I didn't remember who it was that.
When I look at her picture in the roster or in the bio, the sense I get is that that's a mask. That's like a Jenna mask. It's not, whoever Jenna is, it's not there in the picture. This is just my sense, my impression. I don't know Jenna at all.
I know, but that's exactly how I would smile if you told me to smile for a photograph.
And maybe that's why. Maybe it's why it's got a fake vibe.
I don't have that much of a teeth smile.
Yeah.
But I would have on this fake smile. My mother does it too. It's just like, I don't know
Your
how
mom
to
can't
smile
smile.
if you tell.
For the camera. She can't
squints her eyes closed and does a grimace. Like, Mom, that's not a smile. So I have to try to catch Mama
unawares.
Yeah. So, bless her heart. She's 90 and she has never, in 90 years, she's still not a good smiler.
Yeah.
But she's wonderful. So, but anyway, that made me laugh. But yeah, so I can't hold that against her. Somebody was talking about their resting face looked they had to be very careful. Mm-hmm. So more people on this season talked about their facial impressions that they give off. So they're at least aware of it.
They had all watched a Michaela season. That's really what that told me.
The thing is I don't think for a second anybody's going to have that much control. You cannot do that and tired and exhausted. And after a while, you don't even care anymore.
Well, you just don't have the energy to actually manage it.
Yeah, no, forget it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do that 24/7. Forget it. So, yeah, I don't think that's even possible.
Donathan, Libby, Jenna, they could easily be first off on the Malolo tribe.
Oh, that's... I am not going to say what I thought in that moment.
Okay.
But
I was just responding
to say something.
What you said about who you thought could be first off. All right.
Okay. No.
All right. So that's pretty much our assessment of the cast. We're going to do part 2 in just a minute, where we talk about the twist and different aspects of the season, especially the name and what that means, all that. But we're splitting it up like that in case you don't want to hear any of that. So there'll be potential... someone might consider it a spoiler when we talk about the details that are out there about the first.
Yeah, the details are out there, but not everybody
so we want
wants
to divide
hear
it up. Yeah. Now, JABBIC Part 2, that you want to get that in this Saturday, February 24th by noon Pacific time. So we've done the broad strokes. We've done their bios. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to go over everyone. Just pick out the ones that you think will or won't do well, however you want to do that. 3 minutes. Keep it down to 3 minutes. Easiest way to do it, you can call the voicemail line, 206-350-1547, or toll free, 844-643-8737. The only catch with that is that the call quality can vary significantly. So if you're at all concerned about that, and you have the extra time, you can record it on your own and then send it as an attachment to the email, joanneandstacyshow@gmail.com. And you can always find the phone numbers and the email address for the listener feedback shows and the JABBIC Part 2 shows. You always find that at the website, GetSFP, GETSFP, SurvivorFansPodcast.com, GETSFP.com. Keep it in the 3-minute range. You can also write it up, and either Joanne and I will read it into the podcast for you.
The JSFL website should be up soon. If you were playing the game at the end of last season, you are still registered.
What's JSFL?
Fantasy League.
It's our Survivor Fantasy League.
Okay, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah, and if you're new to the podcast or you had been wanting to play and hadn't had a chance, now's your opportunity to get in on that before the first episode airs.
Yeah, but those of you that were playing at the end of last season are registered. And just remember to get your 4 safe picks and your person that's going to be voted off first. And don't forget your USB 24, who is the person that you think will win this entire season. Mm-hmm. And you'll enter those separately. These must be recorded no later than Wednesday, February 28th, before the deadline of 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, and 4:30 Pacific time. But I wouldn't wait till the last day to get something down, just in case, Mother Nature takes out the internet service or something. I would put something in early, and you can always change it if there's no problems.
And if you haven't registered to play before, you got to do that on the website before you can enter your choices. In order to play the season, you got to get in before the deadline, like Joanne said. And please remember to hit submit on both pages after you make your selections. And you can read the official rules of the game on the website to see how we play it throughout the season. We also want to thank Paul for the awesome roster that he's put together that we're already using. Thank you so much, Paul. And the logo for the JSFL website. Another great job. And we want to always thank Steve for creating and maintaining that JSFL website. We couldn't do the Fantasy League without Steve.
Could not.
So thank you. We used to do it on a spreadsheet, and it's way too big with over 300 players now, typically in a season. So we'd love to have you join us. It's great fun. It adds a new twist and some pressure to the season. If you're really adventurous, there's something called the JSFL Side Challenge, where you try to make sure that you don't have the lowest score, because if you do, you'll owe us a song. We got a song coming, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody owes us a song.
James is sick, but he's going to try to get it in.
Okay, all right.
By next Saturday.
We'll definitely know what that's like.
If not, as soon as he's well, he'll do it.
Been wrestling with a cold the last 5 weeks, so I can relate.
Yes, you can. Mm-hmm. You've lost your voice and couldn't swallow and all that. So.
Yeah, it's been rough. Did not feel like time off.
Luckily,
Just time
you
and
did
pain.
not give it to me.
Yes, thank goodness, huh?
Yes.
Okay, you ready to move on to part 2?
No, I just wanted to say first that if you want to play the side challenge, even if you've played every time, you have to send me an email at the Joanne and Stacy Show at gmail.com saying you want to play the side challenge for this season. Mm-hmm. And you would have to send that in before the deadline, the same deadline on Wednesday before the
28th.
The 28th, before the show starts.
Yep.
So please do that if you want to challenge Stacy, but know that you will have to pay your debt if you lose.
Yeah.
Stacy.
It's cool if you win, you get to choose what parody song the loser performs. So basically, you're playing not to lose.
Nope, not worth it to me. I'm a chicken.
Yeah, it's too much pressure for some people. Right, Rajmi?
I do not sing.
Good deal. Okay, so spoiler alert. We're going to talk about some of the twists. Want to talk about Ghost Island. So what was your first impression? We're moving on into the second half now.
Oh, I don't pay it too much attention because all the twists.
Of Ghost Island, I mean.
Yeah. I actually think it might be interesting to kind of see how they're going to handle it. I don't really know. I haven't read any of that.
My first reaction was they're trying to sell Ghost Island as scary as they described it as haunted, graveyard, this idea of reverse the curse. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is just cringeworthy how they're selling this thing.
That's overkill, but hey, that's what you
had a supreme, try-hard, overly forced feeling, but a lot of the themes do. And we love the show. We love the game. So whatever the theme is, it doesn't matter. But then I read this exchange between Gordon Holmes when he was interviewing Probst about the season. And then I'm totally okay. I'm totally okay with the theme. And so Gordon Holmes said, with all the callbacks to Survivor history, this feels like a love letter to hardcore fans. And Probst said, I think that's a really good way to put it. And then I'm totally at ease with the theme after I read that. I was like, wow, you framed that. Easy. You framed that perfectly. I have no concern with the theme going forward. Thanks. It doesn't bug me a bit.
It didn't bug me anyway. But I know I kind of think it might be fun just to relive some of that and see and go, oh, yeah, I remember that. And I saw something where Probst said he thinks it will take the fans back into the moment where they were when that happened and go, I remember that. I remember when that happened. And so I think they were trying to do something for the fans and come up with a different idea for people to get idols or whatever will be out there. You know, it's just another format to do that.
Well, part of my reticence, my concern was Ghost Island. Is this just is he trying to bring back Exile Island again? And it does have some Exile Island aspect to it.
It is Exile.
We don't know all the details about how you end up out there. We know how the first person ends up out there. Before I talk about the Ghost Island mechanics, one of the things that struck me as odd was that Probst said that this is a cast who doesn't know who they are, and a lot of them don't know who they want to be. And that a lot of people
make it interesting.
A lot of people were coming into the game like, well, if you're honest with yourself, there's a lot of points in your life where you certainly feel that way.
I really am excited about this cast. I think I liked so many of the people, and I'm anxious to see how they're going to play and what they're going to do and what their personalities are really like, you know, and whether I totally change my... I mean, always, the JABBIC show is fun for me because I get to see how badly I misjudge someone or, you know, any of that. I just like to watch it play out after I get a certain thought in my head and go, oh boy, was I wrong? Or, oh yeah, pretty close to that one. And it's just kind of added fun.
So I pulled some things out of some of the Probst interviews where he was talking about Ghost Island. I wanted to go through those in terms of the mechanics behind it. So he said, Ghost Island's a place where people will be exiled and you're away from the social politics. Okay. Also, at times, it might challenge you to game a chance. So if you're willing to wager something of value, it'll put something up of equal value that can give you power in the game. So an advantage or an idol.
So they have to...
So you have to make a choice, though, to actually engage.
Take a chance, yeah. Oh, that's a nice little twist, I think. I like that.
So the way the first person gets there is after the first immunity challenge... And this is why this is where I'm going to explain why I didn't have Angela going out first from Naviti. After the first immunity challenge, there's a member of the losing tribe selected by the winning tribe gets sent to Ghost Island. I almost said exile there, right? And they're immune from that first tribal council.
And you said the winning tribe sends them.
The winning tribe chooses someone from the losing tribe to go to Ghost Island.
And they're safe from the vote off.
Right. And they come back after tribal council.
They won't get to bond, and they'll be out there alone. So there's pros and cons.
Right. Well, you don't get voted out first. So I thought if Naviti ends up losing, and we'll talk about some No, I don't think I have. Actually, I don't have details on the immunity challenge. I got one of the first challenges, I guess. But I thought if Naviti loses, Angela could easily be targeted as because if you're the winning tribe, you're thinking, I want to pick someone who might be perceived as weakest, and I don't know for sure if she will be, but that was the first person, and you have identified her too as the one that might get voted out, because that happens to the older females sometimes on Survivor.
Well, and then I thought she would be, just her nature, be a little more what the younger people might see as bossy.
But her tribe mates don't have any say in this. The idea that the winning tribe might be, well, if we perceive, let's just say they perceive Angela as the weakest member of the Naviti tribe, then I want to keep the weakest member in. I don't want to give them a chance to vote her out.
Yeah, then instead of sending a stronger person.
And that's how I ended up having Chelsea go.
Ghost Island. We're going to say Exile Island.
That's how I ended up saying that. I thought Chelsea might exit first. So that's the explanation. It's probably nothing like that will actually happen.
Yeah.
The immunity idols and the advantages for this season, which they refer to them as relics, are all from previous seasons. I believe there's 82. Yeah. There's 82 Ghost Island items that return this season.
Whoa.
That have been a bunch of them. 35 of them are snuffers from Tribal Council that Probst had. But still, that's a lot of other things. So the Jason, the Ozzy, Jason Siska, that's a stick with Eliza. Mm-hmm. The stick will make a comeback. One of the idols.
James's two idols.
Yeah, and I got a link here that you can click on, and you can go see all 82 items listed out if you want.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if I remember all of them, or what they're. So that'd be kind of cool.
So some of the advantages and the idols will be at Ghost Island, and some of them will be back at camp. They're not just on Ghost Island.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that either. I didn't read any of that stuff, so thanks, huh?
At the marooning, both tribes are asked to select someone as a leader, and then the leader picks an athlete and someone that they deem to be the smartest to represent their tribe in a challenge. So there's an obstacle course for the athlete that leader chooses, and then there's a table puzzle for the smartest person to solve. The winning tribe receives a massive shelter building kit. The losing tribe not only loses the challenge, but they lose the fishing gear that they were initially given. So that could be a crucial setback given that the food situation is changing this season.
I didn't know that I wanted to know all that.
Okay.
Can I turn you off now?
So they're going to change the food. So they worked with the medical team, and they've cut the rice allowance in half.
Oh, yeah.
So having the fishing gear and you want to be a provider like Sebastian and you're good with the Hawaiian sling could be huge for you.
But do you know why they did that? Because I heard somebody say why.
Okay, go ahead.
They said that they did that. They're cutting the rice back this season because they're wanting to force them to go out into the ocean more and try to fend for themselves.
Right. So on that challenge, there's a twist. There's an hourglass running throughout the puzzle portion of the challenge, and the leader can decide to hit a lever, which is connected to the puzzle. And if the leader can choose to basically destroy the puzzle and forfeit the challenge. And if they do that, they get to keep the fishing gear. But they can only make that decision while the hourglass is still active.
La, 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 la.
And if they forfeit, the winning tribe will still get the shelter building kit, as well as an added bonus. They'll get flint for fire and a healthy supply of eggs. Okay?
You done?
I'm done.
Okay.
So expect the fire making challenge at Final Four to come back, and they informed them before production started about how that works.
I thought you were done.
I was done talking about that first challenge twist.
That I didn't want to hear.
That's interesting.
About. Okay. All right. You just had a lot of stuff.
That's why I said, going back to Dominic, who's a construction supervisor, you win this massive shelter kit, that shelter building kit. So if Naviti ends up winning that, he could be a huge, like, Mariano superhero in constructing this incredible shelter for him.
Hey, if he built me a nice shelter out there, you bet he'd be my hero.
Of course, with 20, could be shuffles, could split them into three tribes. Sure. A lot of things are going to happen. Expect 6 to 7 of these folks to get voted out before the merge, and then that 8th person will probably become a member of the jury. But again, Final Four, you won't be able to get rid of the number 4 person. It'll run just like it did last season when Ben saved himself by making fire.
But these people didn't get to watch the season before they went out there.
That's why production told them about the Final Four twist before the game started, so they would know what to expect and could plan for that appropriately in the game.
I almost wish they had, but okay.
Well, it would have. They were concerned it would look really weird
Yeah.
that here's another group that doesn't know that happened, even though it's after the last one that we watched where it happened.
Yeah, but most fans know how it's
Yep.
filmed back to back.
Yeah. And they're back in Fiji, same place in the Mamanuca Islands.
Well, and these people have had to keep it quiet for so long.
Yep. It's always a challenge. It's even harder for the next ones because this
Why?
was all filmed.
They came second.
36 and 37 were together, right? 34 and 35 were together.
I didn't think so.
I got that backwards, don't I?
I think you got that
You're right.
backwards.
Yeah, so these are the ones that have waited the longest. My bad. The 37, 38 are getting ready to go out
Yep.
while this is running.
Woohoo! I was right.
You were right. Good job.
Yay.
Okay, anything else you want to say about Ghost Island?
No, I think we've just been living and breathing it for a couple of days now. So I think I can settle at least till tomorrow before I look at something else.
Okay, good deal.
And I can't wait to hear what everybody else has to say.
Yeah, we're definitely looking
because
forward to your
that-
thoughts and impressions.
That does affect how I feel about it. For people to give me another way, even with yours, you're like, oh. Though I kept saying that to myself, yeah, but he didn't watch the interviews. Yeah, but he didn't watch the interviews.
True.
So,
Mine might be a purer form of the analysis.
Okay, I will not say what I thought.
No, not going to entice you even a
Nope,
second time.
Wipe it.
Okay, good deal. But yes, we are indeed looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the second part of the Judge a Book by its cover show with this new cast of 20 Survivor contestants.
I'm excited to be back.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited that I feel better. I didn't feel much like doing anything with this the last month.
My goodness, I am
And
not used to you being sick. all the
Hopefully, I'll be able to get most of the coughing fits that I had while we were recording this out of here. If I don't, I apologize for coughing in your ear there.
Yeah, you usually always get mine out pretty good, so I think you'll do fine.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it. I look forward. Please send in your feedback because I really want to know what everybody thinks. Cause
You don't have to wait
I
till
need help.
Saturday. You can send it
Oh
early.
no, send it now if you want
As
to.
soon as you can. That way
Okay.
we can
Sooner
pull it
the
all
better.
together. Good deal.
Good night, everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye.